So, okay, wait, are you?
It's being recorded. Here we go. All right. So, welcome everybody to my YouTube channel. My name is Lillian Chukwueze. If you're new, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and get the notification bell. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any more videos. So today, you got me laughing, Dalissa. Today.
Sorry.
I have on one of my favorite realtors in PA, in the Philadelphia area, Dalissa Carmichael. Can you introduce yourself?
I mean, I'm not really feeling the one of, but that's fine. Hi all, my name is Dalissa Carmichael. I am a realtor in the Philadelphia, Delaware County, Montgomery County, I don't really care, area, Pennsylvania. I am from Delco, born and raised, and yeah, this is what I love to do.
So Dalissa, me and Dalissa actually have a really cool story. So you guys know on my channel, I started out wholesaling. So Dalissa actually came to one of my wholesaling events that I was hosting. And little did I know that we were going to reconnect later down the line. So I actually had a deal. I had a buyer that I wanted to refer to her. And I was just randomly looking for agents to get in contact with. And I contacted her and she was like, aren't you the agent from, or aren't you, what did you say? I forgot.
I was like, wait a minute, I know you. I was like, I'm following you. Aren't you Flip with Lillian or something? And I'm like, you never followed me back. Literally, I'm in the crowd, just like being a super fan, just like watching as she's at this Jersey wholesale thing. I'm just like, man, these people are amazing. I'm gonna go follow her, like her brother, and everybody. I'm like, oh my god.
Full transparency, I didn't know you were following me, and I would have followed you back if you would have told me.
She's so famous, y'all.
I'm not. I'm not. You're the famous one, which is why I have you on today. So.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so me and Dalissa reconnected and we started, working together, and here we are months down the line, still working together. Dalissa is a great real estate agent, and this is a part of why I really wanted to have her on the channel, talk about her success, how she's been finding her success. My channel is now dedicated to pretty much helping real estate agents and talking about real estate marketing and everything like that. So definitely wanted to have her on. So thank you for coming on today. And let's get right into it. So, what got you into real estate?
Long story short, I was a liquor store manager. I worked at Wine and Spirits, and that was cool. I did that for 5 years. And I'm like, I really want to know how to do more than know where the vodka is, over there. So I took a leap of faith and I quit my job, boohoo cried in the parking lot and everything. And I went to go into car sales. I really liked that. Did it for 6 months. Got pregnant. I was just like, this ain't cutting it, because the management was horrible. But so I got into cell phone sales, and I'm just like, okay, clearly I like sales, but I'd like to sell something more substantial. So I took my real estate license about 4 years ago, and it's been a wrap ever since.
Okay, that's good to hear. So yeah, you've been in sales for quite some time, and you pretty much know how sales work. Like you have to kind of be wired for sales, because it's very easy to give up and just stop, because if your paycheck is dependent on your commission, there's a certain drive that you have to have in order to stick it out in sales, right? So you said that you wanted to, are you getting a phone call?
Yeah.
It's fine. Dalissa's on her phone, guys. So we had to improvise.
Don't do that to me. I tried.
No, you did try. You're on your. It's all good. It's all good. If you have to, yeah, you're fine. So yeah, so you decided to get into real estate sales. So I guess tell us about maybe like your first deal, or your first like major experience or significant experience in real estate.
Well, when I first started, I didn't get my first deal for like 3 months. It was a struggle, because I was really I didn't really know anything. And like I had guidance for buyers, but I didn't know how to get sellers. I didn't know how to really do anything. And I come from a very extensive customer service background. So I was just playing, people pleaser, trying to have that servant heart that I do have, and just so I ran around with these 2 girls for 6 months, and they never bought with me, but I didn't understand that you have to ask a lot of questions. So yeah, my first sale wasn't for 3 months. And then my second one wasn't until another 5 months after that. So it was tough when I first started. Like, I don't even think I really got into the swing of things until like end of second year going into third.
Okay.
It's tough.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's definitely tough, especially like when it's your first year, right? Like your first year is like straight learning. Like you're
Yeah.
just trying to learn as much as you can and hopefully get some experience in the process of doing that. A lot of agents don't get their first deal for like really like 6 to 12 months. So you started at like, that 3 month timeline was like, that's pretty good for most people. I didn't get my first deal. Yeah, I think it was probably around the same, about like 3 months.
Yeah. I mean, it was an investor, so it wasn't like the highest deal, but he is still my friend and investor to today. Shout out to Ken. So, it did give me at least a long-term thing, friendship and client. So
how did you get that first client?
Answering the phone. I was in the office, and not that I'm a heavy office person now, but I was in the office and I just happened to answer the phone. Then it was like Zillow leads, and yeah, answering the phone, or the office would sometimes dish out leads. So that's how I did leads then, for sure.
Okay. All right. So now fast forward, you've been in the game for how long?
Going into my 5th year.
Going into your 5th year. So things have probably changed along the way, right? So you said you started off answering the phone in the office. So since then, how have you, like, what does your business look like now? Like, how are you generating leads? How are you getting clients? Like, what do you do for your business now?
Being very honest, I don't generate leads. I have been honestly blessed, I have to say, because I believe in putting out good energy, and I think that people resonate with that. And I've been lucky enough to have a very strong referral base. So a lot of people do refer clients to me, whether it be through social media or family, friends, other realtors. I would say like, no, all of it. All of my business is all referral based. Because I refuse to pay for leads now. I won't do it. I will not do it. I refuse to do Op City because I ain't vying for nothing. We're not about to we're not about to compete. Listen, you want to work with me.
Right.
No, I'm not cocky at all. But no, like I really take care of my clients. So and I think people know that. So I get referrals.
Okay. So I mean, there's a strategy behind that, right? So obviously you seems like
Sphere of influence.
You said what?
Sphere of influence is what it's called. Yeah.
Sphere of influence, yes. But there's a strategy behind getting referrals, right? So obviously you said you come from you have a heavy customer service background. So you have to be able to you got your clients. You're busy. You're busy.
I'm back.
It's all good. So you have so basically you know how to service your clients well to the point where they are now like, okay, anybody else that they come in contact with that's looking to buy or sell, they're pushing your name out there, right? Now, when it comes to getting them to actually refer you, do you have a certain strategy? Do you just ask, or do you just kind of, hope?
You mean like realtors I don't know, like, let's just say?
No, so like after you, like, let's say you have a client, you service them, right? You help them buy or sell. At that point, do you ask them to refer you other business? Do you what do you do in order to get like more of those referrals?
I would say that I probably should. I probably should ask for the referral. I don't. It just comes to me naturally. And like I said, I have other like family members who will support me as well. But I probably should ask for the referral, like, hey, if you know anybody. But for the most part, they're just like, hey, I know somebody. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, absolutely. Send them my information. I'll help them out. I'm just always happy to help in any way that I can. So you know, but I should, right?
If it's been working for you this far, everybody has a different strategy. So like basically it seems like your strong point is just being able to provide the value that you're providing as an agent, being able to help them close on the deals. I mean, that's part of the reason why I send you my leads. So
yeah. I wasn't going to name drop you, but
yeah, no, definitely. I said, listen, guys, I sent Dalissa like almost all my leads. Like honestly, the only time I stopped is when you said you were busy. I was like, okay, like
but I didn't say I was too busy. I just y'all see how she tried to get rid of me, right?
No, you said, and there's certain. Then the thing is, grow in your agent career, right? There's certain things that you're willing to take on and certain deals that you aren't, you know what I mean? And it is what it is. It's
Yeah.
just, it's like, you know, for example, I don't know if you're necessarily going out there helping every single rental that you get, you know what I mean? Like you have, we're going to talk about this later, but you're mentoring people as well. You know? So there's different things that you are willing to take on as an agent and that you're not, and it's totally, you know, I respect it.
As I grow my business, there's definitely, I'm just like, whoa, what's the details? Like, you know, as opposed to I'll take, you know, I'm not like jumping on every single thing. Plus I am, like you said, helping other people. So I want to see them succeed as well. So I probably will pass it off just in case it's not fitting to what I'm trying to do with my business.
Right. So let's just get into that now. So you've grown your business to the point where people are coming to you asking for help, right? Even I was asking for help when I first started. I was like, tell me about this contract. Like, how do you were talking about, you were getting contracts out in like 15 minutes, like offers out in like 15 minutes. I'm like, what are you doing? Because it's taking me like an hour and a half to blast out all this information for an offer.
Right.
So you got to the point where, I mean, you were obviously mentoring people for free before. Now you're mentoring people, and it's different with the XP or whatever. But so I guess what made you really want to step into that mentor role? Because you were doing it for a while without anything.
And I will say, with no disrespect to my first brokerage, because they were amazing, I just felt like I didn't have the direct hand that I feel like an agent needs in the beginning to help them through their first couple deals. And it's not that no one was helpful. I don't know, I guess I wasn't comfortable, or I really don't know what it was. But either way, I feel like I didn't have what I needed in the beginning of my career. Therefore, I want to kind of reach back down and help others who are starting this business, because it's not easy. And it's not, you can't sit back and the money falls in your lap. You just can't. So, I just want to kind of reach back and help those agents kind of get through things, because it's difficult. And there's a lot of things to the contract that, I know now with using strategy wise, that someone could benefit to know. Like, I just want to be that helpful person, like that, big sister, if you will.
Yeah, definitely. And I saw that even with me, like you taught me things about like the buyer agency contract that I didn't know. And I'm like, wait, you can do this? And you're like, yeah, like, this is how,
You better.
Yeah, right. Like there's certain strategies to utilize to, help you, benefit for yourself and for the client, best interest for both. So let's talk about that. So obviously you're doing deals, right? As an agent, you're helping other people do deals. What are some of your main strategies in this super competitive market that are getting offers accepted? Because I feel like every day I'm checking your Instagram and it's like closing, under contract. I'm just like, what are you doing to get all these deals across the table to the closing? Like, what's your strategies?
You got to stay busy, first of all. Ever since, so within my 4 years, January is when I decided that I would commit to myself and do this full time. And that's just in January. It takes a while just for anyone who is doing it, like a part-time job. And, that Verizon job that I had, I didn't quit right away when I started real estate. Like, it took me some time, and I just felt like Verizon was in the way of my real estate career. And I'm just like, listen, y'all gotta go. So I did part-time jobs up until January. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go hard. But strategies, not to give y'all my sauce or whatever, but honestly, I'm just really into the terms, especially like line 700 is just like one of the terms, like for if you get out of contract, or if there's like a dispute between the buyer and the seller. I'm putting a very low number because I want my buyers to get their money back. I love when people notice that too, because a lot of times they don't.
Yeah.
But anyhow, for me, I don't go at, I try to educate my clients. I don't go after the house that just hit the market. Everybody's going after that house. I am keeping my eye on the houses that either just came back to market because they want to go back off the market, right, or the houses that just have a couple days. At this point, like 6-7 days plus, they thirsty. They like, why are we still in the market? What's going on? They're like, hey, how you doing? Yes, us right here. And I'm gonna play in your face. No offense, but I'm going to play in your face. Like, hey, so you need an offer. I need to be under contract. What's up? Let's make this work. On my very last deal, we did a bunch of different things to be competitive. We offered transfer tax. We offered to cover the UNO. We offered what else did we offer? Oh, we did the inspection for informational purposes up into a certain dollar amount. Just little things that I have learned over, like I've learned it from listing agents. She's like, hey, why don't you put this? And I was just like, that's great. I'm gonna write that down. Like, just different things that I have learned, and just verbiage that I've learned over, from different people. And then like this very last one, I gave them an incentive to accept our offer in the same day. I said, listen, we will give you an additional 1% in commission if you accept our offer now. And it worked. Wow. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta put it on the same money.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, let's get it done. Let's make a deal. If we cannot, deal's off the table. And, you can vet your other offers, but this is what we're offering right now.
Wow. So you are like a negotiation expert, it sounds like.
I love negotiating. It's my favorite thing ever. I love negotiating.
Okay, that's good. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's how you have to get the deal done, right? I like what you said about sometimes the listing agent might, chip in and say what they think. Because what I was trying to tell, I actually just made a YouTube video about this, of like basically one of the ways to get your offers accepted is to dig into what the seller wants. Meaning when you're talking to the listing agent, figure out, hey, like what exactly does your seller want? How can we make this work? We want to make it a win-win, right? You want to sell the deal, we want to buy it. So what can we do to get it done? So being able to have a conversation with the listing agent, get them like on your team and figure out how you can appeal best to the seller is one of the best ways. It's just like, I was in the wholesaling world, but when I was talking to sellers, it was like, okay, what do you need in order for us to make this deal happen? And if you can hit a seller's pain points and make it still a good deal for yourself, that's how
you have to build rapport. You have to. I would say that I feel like a good bit of the time I've gotten an offer accepted just because I built that great rapport with the listing agent. I'm chatting it up with them. We're laughing, we're kikiing, about whatever, or maybe I'm being sympathetic to something they're going through. And it's not from I'm not fake. I genuinely care about other people. So I will just give them that energy. And I think that they catch it, but yeah, building rapport, and then also paying attention to what they put in those agent notes. Sometimes they'll put the information there like, hey, seller wants this. Okay, well, that's what I'm putting in the contract.
Right.
Or if I ask them, hey, what does your seller need? Okay, that's what I'm putting in the contract because that's what you said. I heard you.
Right. And letting the agents know they're heard, they're being heard, and their sellers being heard. That's good.
Exactly.
That's really good. A lot of agents don't pay attention to detail. Like you
barely
even read like the home description, in the listing. So, it's kind of like they but then like you said in the notes, like there might be things that, so clearly you're paying attention enough to get these deals done.
Yeah, I definitely, that confidential data that tells you sometimes everything you need to know. I pay attention to the inclusions, the exclusions, and just, whatever I can get from the listing agent that they're willing to give up. Sometimes if you talk to them for a while, they'll give you everything.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes, people will just, if you let them talk, they'll spill the beans, right?
Oh yeah, sure will. I'm just like, yeah, so. And it's not from a place of trying to be facetious. It's just like, all right, what can you tell me that could benefit me to write the best offer that I can write? I just, listen, I want to get some contract. That's not me trying to undercut them in any way. A lot of times our offers are over asking, but it's strategic. Yeah. And something I learned recently is maybe the offer isn't super over asking, but other things you offer add up in value, like the transfer tax. That transfer tax sometimes is like a couple $1,000s. Maybe we don't give you an extra $5,000 on the purchase price, but we give you that transfer tax. That way we can keep our mortgage low,
right,
as low as possible anyway, but you still have a higher net. So you just gotta be strategic with your client's money. If they got it, let's do this right, because I want to help you save money as well as save money late. What's more important to you, money now or money later? So I just try to be as efficient as possible.
Woo, that's a good one. Money now or money later? That's a good one. So this is what your mentees are getting. They're getting all these strategies.
They getting the tea, man. I mean, like whether they catch it or not, this is what they get. I'm like, listen, this is what we're gonna do.
And this
You're like, listen, you see them? They on the contract every other day too.
And this is why, hello, I'm working with, the people that you bring on too. So I wanted to bring a point when it comes to getting in contact with the listing agent. So now that I work on the mortgage lending side, that's what I do now, right? So like whenever one of my agents wants to put an offer or anything like that, I'll get in touch with the listing agent just as like another touch point, like, hey, like I know the agent put in, my seller, my agent put in this offer, just to reassure you they are good, we can get to the closing table, just kind of get in their ear and like you said, build rapport with them.
That's
too.
great on you.
Yeah,
that helped me too one time. Attaching the loan officer to the offer. That helps. It does, because then they can double down like, hey, great buyer, just so you know.
Right.
You know, that helps. It really does.
Exactly. Extra reassurance. So I wanted to go into that, right? So now that I'm a mortgage lender, I always ask the selfish question to agents, like, what are the great qualities in a mortgage lender, right? Like, what is the ideal, like, what's the ideal type of mortgage lender that you want to work with or that you're already working with?
For me, don't look at me like that. For me, it's comes down to communication during the deal.
Okay.
But no, I say that for a reason. But for me, it definitely comes down to communication. I don't want to have to hound you about what's going on in the deal, or be confused about something and you can't give me an answer. Don't tell me, oh, I'll let you know when I get to the office. Why don't you know? Why don't you know what's going on in this deal? It's just frustrating. Yeah. Or if they have a processor, that's fine. I want to be able to talk to the processor. But if I can't get it from the processor, I should be able to get it from you. I shouldn't, I don't know. Communication for me is heavy. Like that's big. I don't need you to overload me, but I do need to know what's going on. I don't feel like I should have to reach out to the lender. They should just be like, hey, just so you know, this is where we're at. This is what's going on. Or, hey, how's the deal going? Can we move forward with this? Absolutely. Like, let's work together. I do my job. I feel like, well, do your job, and I let my lenders do their job. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, what we're going to do is we're going to put together this loan estimate. No, they do that. Like, what am I like, right. I let my buyer have their relationship with the lender, and I need you to do that. Talk to the buyer. Why haven't they talked to you? Communication. Okay. Just like, that's like bare minimum.
Right. So when you're talking to your mentees about lenders to work with, whoever they decide to work with, you're telling them they need to be able to communicate.
Yeah, absolutely. If they have questions, I'm like, well, did you call the lender? Did you talk to them? Okay, this is a lender question. You need to, build that relationship, because that's the only way you're going to.
Right. So do you mind telling us about your horror story? I think that'll be entertaining for the audience.
Oh God. It's not even a horror story. It's just so like, leave me alone. Like,
okay, give the audience some like, context.
So lenders, they are constantly reaching out, trying to build relationships with realtors. And I understand that, and it's fine. And I'll accept like the invite or whatever. All right, cool. Let's tell me what you got to offer. Most of the time it's for the food, whatever. I'm honest. Yes, I will come to the free lunch for sure. But don't quote me on that. I know where I had a lender, and I'm not going to name names, but I had a lender that was just hounding me. Like, yes, I said communication is important to me, but why do I have 6 unread messages and I haven't replied to you yet? And now you're in my DMs. What, like,
you guys, was this during a deal, or was he still?
No, I've never given this person a client, like, ever. He's like, oh, what do I need to do to get your business? Oh, what do I need to do with one of your preferred lenders? Not hounding me would like be great. Like, that would, like, bare minimum, that would be awesome if you not hound me. If I'm not replying to your text, maybe because I'm busy. That doesn't mean DM me. That doesn't mean send me a voice text. Like that, like, in begging, that is like, that.
Was it over like a really short period of time? Was it like a week or something?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And then it was just like, they were having a like a mixer or something. And it was just like, I really need you to come out. Please, 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 with sugar on top. And I'm just like, and then like, what really set me off and boiled my blood, I was so turned off by it. They said, hello, look over here. And I'm just like, am I a dog?
Wait, in a message they
no.
said that?
Yes. And I'm like, you know what? Hey, listen, I am very happy with the lenders that I have. Good luck to you in business. Please do not contact me, and block them from everywhere. I've never had to block a lender before. Never. It really set me up. I'm just like, this is not the way you get business at all. Harassing, in my opinion. And I'm just like, why are you harassing me? And I know he wasn't just harassing me, because he was in my mentees inbox as well. Same things. I 6 messages she never replied to. I'm just like, why? This is not how you get business.
Right.
Just, anyway, I digress. I'm over that yesterday.
Woosah. Must have got you mad. You made a whole Facebook status and everything.
Yes, I was hot. I was so mad. I was like, am I just that dumb that you have to dangle shiny things and tell me to look over here? Who are you talking to? I was so mad. I was so irritated. I was like, block from everywhere. I'm finding your Instagram that you haven't found mine yet and blocking you there. Like, I'm blocking everywhere. All the numbers.
That's crazy. Well, I'm glad I didn't get blocked.
No, ma'am, you will not get blocked. Not yet. I'm just kidding. No, but just like, don't harass me. Like, I understand it's slow now for lenders. I really do. But yeah, harassing is not the way to get it. Like, you're not going to get me to like throw you a client because you keep bothering me. I told you that I was happy with who I had. Why are we still going through this?
Right. So let's talk about that a little bit as far as like the market. So for me, being on the lending side at this time, it honestly, I don't know what slow looks like, right? Like, since I'm still fairly new, I don't know what it necessarily looks like. I'm getting buyers at the same rate that I was getting buyers as an agent, which I was still getting like a lot of buyers, you know. And so I kind of wanted to ask you, so what have you kind of seen in the market as far as like between buyers and sellers? Have you been working more with buyers? Have you been working more with sellers? Like, what have you kind of seen as far as like the trend of things, where it's going?
Thus far, I haven't seen a downtick either. I say it's harder to get under contract than normal. I'm used to putting in one offer and we're under contract. That's what I'm used to. But now it's taking quite a few, before we're under contract, because there's so much competition out there. Even though the rates are higher, I still think that people still want to buy homes. Homes still have a value. So I'm not really seeing a downtick either. I've been working, I feel like I have an equal amount of buyers and sellers. Now my sellers are taking their time to get to the market, but I've been working with both. Okay. So yeah.
I look at you as like the buyer specialist, because for some reason you're just really good at getting people, getting their offers accepted. That's just what I see on the outside.
I get that. And if people think that, like, I do both. I do. But I've stopped fighting it, because for a while I was like, well, no, I don't want to be a specialist of a buyer. I want to do both. I want to do everything, and I can. But yeah, I would say that I'm a buyer specialist. I love negotiating. I love getting people under contract, and I feel like buyers, no offense, sellers, but buyers are just more appreciative. They love me. They like, they're like, oh my God, I love you so. And I'm just like, me too. It's right here.
I think sellers have like this, like, I feel
they know that. Listen, they know they got the juice.
Right. They know they have the juice right now. Everybody wants a listing. Like, it's just, it is what it is. But then that's also where a good agent kind of brings them to reality when it comes to like what they want to sell for. And it's that, like, the market is crazy, but you still gotta be reasonable. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be out here asking for like crazy things. But I wanted to ask you, so what's been your biggest challenge thus far as an agent? Like, whether it's this year or just all like in total, like, what's been your biggest challenge?
I would say, as an agent, just confidence. No, honestly, confidence. I think I had to build that. I wasn't always as that's why I said it really took me to like going into my 3rd year to really get into like the grind, the groove of things, because I didn't have that confidence that I have now. We were just talking about, like, you would never know that I'm super shy. Like, I'm shy. I'm not really, sometimes I'm not fully confident in myself, but for whatever reason, like, it just, I have this fire now. I don't know what it is, but I'm riding it. But yeah, as an agent, I would say just having the confidence to believe in yourself and believe in your capabilities, and relying on your mentors and people above you who have been doing it. Not being afraid to ask questions. These are things I just think that really help, newer agents especially.
Yeah. So how do you like teach that to your mentees? Because like you said, it took you a while to gain that confidence. How do you? Because that's a part of like that's a big part of being an agent. Like especially a brand new agent. Like people, that's the first thing people are gonna like look at. Like, do you know? They're gonna be in their mind. They're gonna be like, okay, you're a new agent. Do you know what you're doing? You basically want to come off as if you're not even a new agent. Like that's how much confidence
Absolutely.
that you have to have. So like, what are your tips to your like mentees when it comes to that?
Absolutely. Like I said to you not too long ago, fake it till you make it.
Like,
You just like have to come off confident, and I give them information, but I don't interject into what they're doing. Like, listen, this is what you're gonna say. You're gonna say this, and that. They would never know the difference. They would never know that that's their first deal. You never, because as long as they present themselves professionally and concisely, like I don't think that they'll have problems. Um, you just have to, and I did it, when I was, back there in the wee ages of new agenthood.
new agenthood.
I just made it up.
I've never heard of that.
You just pretend like you've been doing a lot of deals. And I think my first deal, I said, did you know this was my first deal? And he was like, no, I didn't know that. I was like, good.
Right. Right.
You just have to be professional and just try to do everything efficiently, I'd say.
Right. No, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
My first client actually came from a YouTube video, and I still don't think to this day that she knows that she was my first client, but I was putting out so much information when I just started.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like I was trying to like be some type of expert. I was literally just putting out information that
Mhm.
everybody already knew, and it was just like, oh, she knows what she's doing. And
Right.
then she calls me. It's just funny. She called me. She's like, I didn't even know you would pick up. Like, I'm like, yeah, I literally said in my video to call me if you're looking to buy a house.
Yeah, literally.
So
But
it's the
I think
confidence.
that as buyers are so uneducated, unfortunately, in the home buying system. So any information we give them is just all like, oh my gosh, she knows everything.
Right.
Like, so as a new agent, as long as you're educated or have educated yourself with at least something, or go find that information, they're going to value you. They're not going to know that you're new. And
Right.
you don't have to say that. You don't have to be like,
Right.
oh yeah, I'm new at this. You don't have to say
Yeah.
anything. Like,
Right.
I've been doing this. I'll tell people in a minute, like, before I got to like my 4 years, because I think that's pretty good now. I used to be like, oh, well, I've been in it, licensed for a few years, but I've been in it for years. My
It's
aunt's
in
a
real
real estate
estate for
agent.
years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, you fake it till you make it.
Yeah, no, it's true. Especially if you have the experience, like you said, you had your aunt who's been in it for like ever, right? So you
Exactly.
can leverage her experience. Like, hey, I've been around it for how X amount. Or if you have, it
Yeah.
doesn't even have to be like a family. It could literally be somebody like you. So like one of your mentees can leverage your experience. Like, yeah, I've been in it. If they really ask you specifically how long you've been in it, yeah, I've been in it for a couple months. But I work with Dalissa who's
Yes.
been in it for forever. So she's the one who's helping me with this.
Leverage.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
leverage exactly. So I wanted to talk about, you mentioned that before you dove in full time, right? You were still
Mhm.
working a job. And I think this is a huge thing that many people struggle with. Cause like some people like me, like I just dove in, right? Which may not
Mhm.
have been the best idea. It worked out for me, but in most situations, I feel like people have to work up to that point.
Mhm.
So how would you advise, like, I guess newer agents, if they are still working a job, like how would you advise them into getting into the full-time life of being an agent?
I'd say take your time. Don't rush it because it is difficult. I mean, once you get into the swing of things, it's great, but that period of time between making a sale and it actually closing and getting paid is quite vast. So take your time. I don't rush into something because someone else is doing it. It took me time to get where I am. So, and I tell that to my mentees all the time. Like, listen, they're like, oh, well, you're killing it. I'm like, yeah, but I'm in my fourth year. I should be. At least that's how I feel about it. I should be getting to the groove and closing all the time in my fourth year. If I'm still where you are, like, what have I learned?
Right.
So I try to tell them, like, listen, you will get here as long as you stick to it. Be patient, so maybe you do have to work another job until you get there. Time block. make sure anytime that you can give to your business, you're giving it to your business. Obviously if you have a family and stuff, do that too. But if you can give an hour a day to your business, do that and do something productive. Don't just be like, all right, well, I guess I'll research some stuff. No, make calls or blast out whatever, let people know, hey, this is what I'm doing. Because if people don't know you're a realtor, then how do you expect them to use you? Don't get me wrong, I get people that, don't use me all the time. And I see you. I really do. I see you in my stories. I see you in my stories watching me, and you ain't used me for your realtor, but that's okay. I still love you. No love lost. It's fine. But not everybody will use you. That too, not getting offended. It is what it is. There's enough business out here that we can all eat. I'm not going to be hating on someone else because they got, a friend of mine. It is what it is.
Right. So with that, how because you're on social media, right? So like how important do you think like social media is in relation to like traditional marketing such as cold calling and everything like that?
I think it's more important. I think that I've gotten more business with social media. I first of all, I don't cold call because I have anxiety. Like I'm not about to set myself off. Got somebody cussing at me through the phone and like, who are you? Like I don't have the time, so I don't cold call. But I think social media is very important. I think that it's the height of what most people are doing nowadays. I watch you and all your social videos and things, and I haven't really gotten into doing videos yet because I am actually shy.
You look at the video.
I am actually shy, so I haven't gotten into doing videos yet. But I love it. I love everything you post. I don't know if you see it, but I do see. I have friends that we're mutual friends that I don't even know if you know them that well, but they repost your stuff, and I'm just so proud.
You know what? I see the closing that you recently had.
Yeah.
There was this girl that followed me. I'm like, why does her username look familiar? And then I started seeing her like my stuff. I'm like, oh,
that's my girl.
Follows
Yes, that's my girl. See, look at you having followers. You don't even be knowing. But yeah, so she reposts your stuff a lot. One of my other mentees reposts your things a lot. So I think social media is highly, highly important for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Even if you are doing the traditional forms of marketing, I feel like social media is that like solidifying factor. Like let's say if you cold call somebody and then they want to look you up and they see like, oh, like you're talking about the market or you're doing deals, like they're gonna be like, oh, like this person is legit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's how people are always going to do research on you at this point. It's so easy to find you. So even if you are doing the traditional methods, I think social media is like that. It's like it's solidifying everything for you.
It is. And I actually pay a company called Agent Crate to post on my Instagram and my Facebook, and it's the best $70 I spend monthly because it keeps my page consistent and it keeps me posting. And I think it's important. And I've had people come to me and tell me like, hey, I love your page. I love the cohesiveness of your page. And I love just your energy kind of comes out because I did set it up to fit me. So, and then I'll post something myself every other post. So to keep it, how I want it. But I think it is important. Like, so I don't know when it happened, but I've just become a story queen. Like I post every day on my stories, just so even if it's not about real estate, it's just keeping people viewing me, viewing what I'm doing or viewing the type of person I am, funny and just being my own weird self. Right. So I'm constantly just posting something in my stories, whether it's real estate related or not. And, it just keeps people viewing you.
Yeah, it literally keeps you in sight. Like that's what social media is. Like I look at social media as like your own personal advertising platform every day. Every day you get a chance to advertise yourself, and not saying that you have to be like talking, like you said, it doesn't have to always be about real estate. People relate to you in other ways besides real estate. Like they can relate to, like you said, your personality of being funny, whatever the case may be. That's what's gonna attract them, not just real estate, And
exactly.
then that conversation, it may build into a conversation about, hey, I'm looking to buy or I'm looking to sell.
Right.
So there's a lot of different ways to use social media without just, it's not always an advertisement.
Yeah, it's not for people to use you, you have to be yourself. And I can't be nobody but me. So I think that's why a lot of people do, I'm about to use the word jive with me.
Jive.
Because I am authentically at all times myself, and I can't be nobody else. So they pick up on that.
That's true. That's true. So I just wanted to ask you really quick. You are a mother of 3 beautiful children, and they're a little crazy, but we still love them.
Right, thanks.
But for all like the agents out there who might be looking, like any single moms or any people, anybody who just has kids, that might be struggling and figuring out how to manage their time, like what advice do you have for them? Because I mean, you do a great job. I don't know how you do it, but somehow you're able to manage your time well as far as business and still taking care of your family. I see they're on your story all the time, so I always
yeah.
So how do you do it?
Yeah, I put them in a cage while I'm working.
Okay. Okay. Well,
yeah, it's like a nice size kennel.
okay, that works.
No, so one, having a great support system, for sure. Like that's number one, having a great support system for when I do need to run and go do those showings or to a closing or whatever. I do a lot of showings for the most part. So having that great support system, utilizing the time if you aren't doing another job while they're in school, make sure you're using your time effectively. I'm home every day, most days, by the time they get out of school. And I still get to spend that time with them. And maybe we're not doing anything crazy, but I'm home. I take them with me. I do. I take them with me on showings. They're constantly begging me, Mommy, can we go see some houses? Sure. Where you want to go? Like, like, I don't care. Let's go see some houses. I took them with me. One of my mentees was viewing this beautiful $500,000 house. And I was just like, hey, guys, let's go. I thought I was like, y'all would love to see this house. Let's go. And so they did, and they did. They love the house, and they're, it's funny because my oldest, she's definitely gonna be my realtor. She's just like, oh, Mommy, we're driving. She's like, oh, Mommy, I love that house. It's so modern. I'm just like, yeah.
Modern?
Yes. I'm just like, it's just so modern. I'm like, yeah, I agree. Yeah. I'm scrolling on like, Facebook and a house pops up. Oh, Mommy, go back. Oh, I love that. I'm just like, yeah, me too, actually.
Oh my
we bond over it. Even my son, he's 4. He's just like, Mommy, can we go see can I pick a house and we go see it? We sure can. Where you want to go? Like, I don't mind. Like, first of all, I love to see houses. It's like my favorite thing. So if they want to go, yeah, let's go. I bought them little business jackets. They love it. They really do. They put their little blazers on. We go show houses. Now, I won't do that with every client. If I am showing a client and bringing them, and I surely won't bring my son for everything because he a little wild. But I like clients that I'm comfortable with, or we've been looking a while, so we darn near family now, or maybe they are friends or something. I'll bring them. Like, hey, is it okay with you? I bring my kids. Most times they're okay with it. So yeah, I bring my kids. We all view the house. They tell me how much they love it, and they didn't like. It's funny. Short story. I brought them here and I said, oh, I'm here for a client. This is the house that we bought. And I was just like, oh, I'm just looking at it. And they're like, oh, okay. And my youngest daughter, she's like, oh, I like this house. Mommy should buy this house. And my oldest daughter, because this was tenant occupied and they had dogs. She's like, no, Mommy would never buy this house. It smells like dog. I hate this house. I was just like,
oh my God.
like,
are you serious?
She hated the house. And so when I finally did tell them that we were buying this house, I was still in the middle of renovating the house myself, and I was still painting. So I let her know. She cried for like 10 minutes, and because she realized she would have to leave her school. And then I got them involved. I let them paint their room. They let them help me pull rug up. I got them involved. That's my point. Get your kids involved if you want to do things. And you want to be successful at it. Just get them involved. They're gonna love to do whatever Mommy's doing.
Right. That's a good point. I think a lot of people probably just don't think their kids have any interest, but you use that as a time to bond and also still get work done. So
and they know by now. When I'm on Zoom or something, they're like, "Oh, Mommy's in a meeting." Like, shh. My oldest, she's always holding down the fort of what I'm got going on. But my son, I'll get rid of him, to be very honest with you. He don't care. You see when you're on a Zoom with me, who's in the photo? Oh, who are you talking to?
Always in the
hi. He don't care. He's right there. He want to talk to them too. He don't care. He's all up in it. But
Oh my God.
so I'll send him across the way to my mom's. But the girls, they're like, all right, no, she's busy. Have kids that have respect.
Right. That's always an important part too, right?
For sure.
Okay, so going back to how you just said you were kind of doing some remodeling in your current house, I did see a lot of changes that you made. So it kind of seems like you're a little bit of a handy person, and now you're looking to get started on the investing side. So I guess what's making you make that leap into finally like doing some investments yourself?
So this was kind of like my first kind of little shot at it because, like I said, this was tenant occupied, and if you could have seen it before,
Oh,
it
I saw
was.
the pictures. I saw the pictures.
But you'd have to see it in person. It was gross.
Really?
Like when I say the smell, and I don't recall the smell when I first saw it, but yeah, the smell of just dog made me just go, okay. I ripped up absolutely everything and painted every single wall in this house because I just like, I'm not moving my family in here until it's in. So this is like kind of my first little renovation. But I'm very handy or want to be anyway. I don't mind getting dirty, so I love it. And it's kind of like, so I come from an artist background. I've been doing art most of my life until I gave up on it. But
I saw the
so
drawings that you posted.
yeah, I really get down.
I see.
But I view it as kind of like a work of art, really, like just to take something from this and make it into that. I do see it as like kind of a work of art. So yeah, I'm highly interested now into getting into some investing and flipping some houses and taking something that wasn't and making it beautiful to where someone wants to buy it. So that's where my interest lies.
Okay. Do you plan on actually doing the work yourself though? Because now when it comes to a house that you're not going to be living in, it's a whole different story.
I think that once I have, um, once I've done it a couple of times and I can get somebody to teach me, I think I will. Like if I have like a couple projects going on, yeah, I might do a couple things myself. But I think getting into it, it's safer just for the investment, side of it to let someone who's experienced do it. I don't want to screw up on my first deal.
Right.
So but listen, if someone could teach me and do it at the same time, I'm right there. Like I want to learn.
Yeah.
Um,
And I can hook you up with people that'll do that all day.
yeah, I know folks, but we'll see.
There you go. So you're already connected. Well,
Yeah, I got connections all over the place.
yeah. See, you're fine. Okay. So to wrap this up, I just want to know what's next for Dalissa Carmichael. What's your long-term game plan in real estate? What are you looking to do? How are you looking to grow? What's going on?
I think growing is kind of what I'm trying to get into now, the investment side, because, as a realtor, as much as I love doing this, I don't want to do it the rest, be only as good as my next transaction for the rest of my life. I don't want to be running around for the rest of my life. I do want to get into the investment side of it and have some properties all over, not just in PA, in other states. I want a vacation home. Like I want places kind of everywhere, have a large portfolio and, start getting into that residual income, build some things for my kids. It's like my dream to just like be like, all right, well, you're 18 now. You do have to get out of my house, but I already have another one for you. Like,
Right.
We're gonna teach you some responsibility. So I'm not kicking you out. And so like, you can pay me under, whatever. But this is you now. Like, So
Shoot, at
yeah,
18, I'll take that all day.
right. So yeah, just building a portfolio of some sorts, Airbnbs, whatever. I don't even care. I'm ambitious, like sometimes maybe too ambitious. But yeah, building an investment portfolio so that I'm not always worried about the next transaction. Cause right now, like that's my fire. Like, okay, well, these bills gotta get paid. So who's buying next? Who
Right.
needs to sell? Like, I'm constantly at the next transaction and executing. So yeah, that's what's next for me. Just trying to build that business.
Okay, so building your investment portfolio. That's solid. That's always solid. I think agents need to get into that more often and probably faster, because a lot of agents will just sell, and and they have no retirement plan. You can't be a transaction, like you said, you can't be as good as your next transaction or your last transaction for the rest of your life. You have to build some type of residual income. So I think that's a great point. So we've now come to the end of everything. Please let the people know, we're going to talk more, but please let the people know how they can find you. Anything else you want to add into the video?
So again, my name is Dalissa Carmichael, Dalissa, Carmichael, like a car named Michael, AEL. You can find me on IG. My personal page is, you know what? Never mind. My realtor page is at Dalissa, DALISSA.RE, like real estate. You can find me there, and if I like you, maybe I'll add you to the personal page. We'll see.
Oh my God!
I was like, you know what? Wait a minute. I don't know. Do I want to get?
She needs to get screen. See, people like me, I'm able to find people's personal pages very easily.
It's not that hard. You just look up my name.
Look at the name. You can look up the name. Go through the tag.
Like, I'm gonna have pages in both sides. Oh God.
Go through a couple of the tag photos. Go through the friends list. Like
it's well, it's out there now. And you know what? I don't really care, because I look, my block game vicious. I don't care.
Oh, we know, after dealing with that last lender.
Listen, I do not listen. Don't mess up my energy or my vibe. I'm a very peaceful person. Don't come here, like, don't mess it up for me.
Just don't.
I'm trying to be tranquil over here, and you coming over here with the stuff. Like, please don't do that to me. Like, I was chilling.
Clearly, but hopefully, you are able to move past that.
Yeah, but girl, I had to take some ashwagandha. I was like, I was in such a mood. I had I need an aid of some sort. Like,
oh my God.
I am not. No, this is the greens. Well, it looked just like this, but I am not joking. I had to grab the ashwagandha.
Oh my God.
Not kidding. I was like, listen, no, I need to come out of this mood, because this is negative. I don't want to be like this all day. It was early. But anyway.
Sorry. Just know I'll never treat you like that.
I appreciate you.
All right, beautiful people. If you are looking to get in touch with Dalissa, you have her Instagram page, and anybody who's looking for mentorship, there she is. Oh well, it's a process behind that. It's a process behind that. But anyways, Dalissa, thank you so much for hopping on today. I know you're shy. Today I learned that you're shy. So thank you for hopping on regardless. And and I look forward to having you on maybe in a future episode, and we start talking about, some of the houses that you flipped or something like that.
Hopefully, yes. Please wish that on me. I'll take it.
Definitely. So yeah, thank you again for hopping on today, guys. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we will be back for another episode on another day. Y'all stay safe and stay blessed.
Bye.